The ghost of the penalty box. Why football's ultimate hunter secretly hated his own greatness. Did you know that football's most terrifying predatory striker, a man who commanded over €140 million in total transfer fees and left Europe's grandest clubs completely paralyzed with fear, actually preferred the company of wild horses, isolated lakes, and silent forests over the blinding lights of global superstardom? While the modern footballing world became completely obsessed with luxury sports cars, expensive designer jewelry, and carefully curated social media brands, this long-haired warrior routinely spent his multimillion-euro vacations working barefoot on a secluded farm, quietly milking cows and harvesting fields far away from the chaotic screaming of the media. This is the completely untold, deeply emotional, and profoundly complex story of Edinson Cavani, a man who scored hundreds of historical goals on the grandest stages of world football, yet constantly fought an internal war to preserve his humble soul against the poisonous, corrupting illusions of modern fame. Long before he became known worldwide as El Matador, he was simply a fragile, hyperactive little boy running completely barefoot through the dusty, unforgiving streets of Salto, Uruguay, chasing a ball made of tightly wrapped rags because his impoverished family could not afford a real one. Edinson Cavani spent his early childhood deeply wrapped in a relentless, exhausting daily struggle against absolute financial misery, where every single evening meal was an uncertain victory and the brutal freezing winter winds routinely pierced right through the fragile, uninsulated walls of his family home. His early passion for football was absolutely not a luxurious hobby but rather a fierce, desperate survival mechanism driven by a burning, unyielding obsession to break the heavy generational shackles of poverty. The uneven dirt pitches of his local neighborhood quickly became his ultimate sanctuary, a sacred place where the physical pain of hunger completely faded into the background and the pure, unfiltered joy of scoring goals transformed a deeply impoverished boy into an unstoppable, emotionally driven force of nature. This profound, unquenchable hunger followed him directly into his turbulent teenage growth, an era defined by agonizing growing pains, intense physical fragility, and severe medical doubts that threatened to break his professional footballing dreams before they could even begin. Prominent scouts and youth coaches consistently doubted his lanky, unusually thin frame, yet his explosive raw talent at Danubio FC simply could not be suppressed as he continuously pushed his young body far past its physical limits to conquer the grueling, violent demands of South American youth football. He spent long, exhausting hours running through heavy sand dunes and training under the scorching South American sun, intentionally building the legendary stamina that would later shock the entire European continent. His massive breakout performance at the 2007 South American Under-20 Championship completely shocked the footballing world and instantly ignited an intense, high-stakes European transfer battle that would permanently change the trajectory of his life forever. The transition to European football was a dramatic, highly stressful baptism of fire that began at Palermo, where the young, quiet Uruguayan had to completely reinvent his tactical understanding of the game, transitioning rapidly from a wide, exhausting midfield role into a terrifying, laser-focused central striker. His incredibly lethal finishing instincts and unmatched off-the-ball movements immediately caught the attention of Napoli, a historic Italian club completely desperate for a new icon, who secured him on an initial loan in 2010 before sealing a permanent €17 million transfer. Under the roaring, passionate shadow of Mount Vesuvius, the magnificent legend of El Matador was officially born as he completely pulverized defensive units across Italy, scoring a stunning 104 goals in just 138 legendary appearances. He guided Napoli to a historic, emotionally charged Coppa Italia triumph in 2012, permanently cementing his status as the most lethal, feared, and deeply respected central striker in all of Italian Serie A. Europe's wealthiest footballing elite came knocking with unlimited funds, and in the high-stakes summer of 2013, Paris Saint-Germain completely shattered global transfer records by paying a monumental €64 million to make him the most expensive signing in French football history. In Paris, he spent several years unselfishly sacrificing his preferred central position to accommodate other global superstars, yet his entirely unmatched work rate and explosive, intelligent movements allowed him to completely conquer the French capital, winning 6 Ligue 1 titles. By the time his legendary, 7-year journey in France concluded, he had scored an astonishing 200 goals in 301 appearances, permanently etching his name into the history books as the club's ultimate all-time goal-scoring icon. Seeking a fresh challenge to test his warrior spirit, he brought his elite movement and veteran leadership to the grueling English Premier League in 2020 by joining Manchester United on a high-profile free transfer. He immediately silenced a wave of fierce British critics by proudly inheriting the iconic number 7 shirt and scoring 19 crucial, breathtaking goals across 2 seasons, including an unforgettable strike in the UEFA Europa League final. A brief, fighting spell at Valencia CF in Spain followed, proving beyond any doubt that his undying passion for the beautiful game could never be extinguished by advancing age or nagging injuries. In the hot summer of 2023, he made a deeply romantic, highly emotional return to South America to proudly wear the historic number 10 shirt for the Argentine powerhouse Boca Juniors, a club he had dreamed of playing for since his early childhood. He instantly transformed their entire attacking frontline, driving the historic club all the way to the prestigious Copa Libertadores final and completely recapturing the hearts of millions of passionate fans across South America. Moving deep into the year 2026, the 39-year-old gladiator continues to defy the laws of time, spearheading the attack at La Bombonera with the exact same savage, unrelenting intensity that defined his entire career. From the dusty, impoverished streets of Salto to the grandest, loudest coliseums of world football, Edinson Cavani has proven to the world that true greatness is never inherited, but rather hunted down through relentless sacrifice, unyielding loyalty, and an immortal warrior spirit.